Hello friends, this is Michael Canadas back with another Gay Gardens report. So we're coming on a year, I don't know how time flies, but it's a year that we've owned Gay Gardens. And we feel that we've accomplished, not that we've done it, but we've managed to pay for it, to have the roof redone, the chimneys repaired, and the greatest porch in the world finally finished, and then lots of other projects. Now there hasn't been a whole lot going on in the summer because it's just simply too hot for them to work outside. And it's hot and then it's rainy. So we're soon to be starting back on other tasks. Lots of other things have been done there too. But you know, life goes on, and I am a collector. David Robinson, we're both collectors. We do not apologize for that. Although lately I've had a dry spell where I haven't found anything. And I've even noticed in our town, there's a lot of activities in the antique stores. And if I think about something and I go back the next day, it's gone. Well, I've just read in one of the major antique journals that all of a sudden there's a resurgence in antiques and young people are getting involved in it. So this is very exciting, but I haven't gotten anything. So just recently, someone in our doll industry called us that they had an estate sale with some dolls, which of course we went to look, and we got a few dolls. But what was really nice is there were lots of wonderful antiques. So I broke my, my streak. So I want to show you some of the treasures that we have, and I'm going to step aside and then I will go in deep and share with you these things, share with you and maybe give you a little bit of insight on all of these items. And I guess I should save what I want to talk about first for last, because it's really the most important things. And this was thrilling for me to find in this estate. And here it's a pair of punch work portraits in silhouette, almost like a silhouette, a classic silhouette, except it's backwards, where the background is black and the foreground is in colored. And so they're gouache, which is a form of watercolor, and then they're cut out and then they're put onto a black background. But it's actually called punch work. And if you look here, you'll see that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of pinpricks. And this was a very popular pastime to do in the 18th century. And Marie Antoinette actually even practiced this. So I guess it's very therapeutic to sit and take a needle and punch paper thousands and thousands of times. But what is interesting to me and appealing to me is they're very much like paper dolls, all cut out and then overlaid. We have the mother, and this is a little boy. And then the pair is a little girl and a little boy. And here they're playing with a doll, which we would call a Georgian doll, but in Germany they would call that a Baroque doll. And these are circa 1790, and a lot of the pieces that you know, we buy, we don't know where we're going to put. But this I have in mind, a room that they're going to go in. If you followed our videos before, you know that we're collecting up Wedgwood pieces. And here was a nice pair of early candlesticks before 1892. And just besides the fact that, you know, they're marked in a way that tells us they're before 1892, there's also the fact that the candle is not a standard size, because early on you made your own candles in-house, and they would have interesting candle molds, and they would pour them and make them in their own house. The next piece that I think that's really kind of interesting that came out of the estate was this relief plaque. and it's mythological. I'm sure that's Venus and Cupid, and it's all bisque. And I think this is an interesting thing to put in a bathroom because it's a piece of art that you don't have to worry about moisture getting to it. And I think with this really it's all in one. It's not a separate frame. With this frame, I think it would look really stylish if we had a black and white floor, which we have here in the Grovian in the bathroom. I think this would be really appealing. And out of the estate, another piece that both David and I were just gaga for is this paper mache chair. So we collect paper mache in our home here on the Monterey Peninsula, but our space is filled, and this is really an outstanding piece of paper mache, even though it is not actually paper. This is actually wood that's finished to look exactly like the paper mache pieces. But you notice it has a bird motif and beautiful flowers. And both David and I love chairs. So we love people's chairs, we love miniature chairs, doll chairs. I think that they show a lot of style and whatnot. And then we have a pair of these. I only brought one out. And this is a very nice piece of Paris porcelain in an ecru color with incredible gold decoration on it, very delicately done, but it is missing the prisms, so that'll give me something fun to look for. And this did not come from this estate. This actually came from a doll estate that we handled the dolls, and from the Bitsy Thompson collection. So if you're on this channel, you can go look at that. And Bitsy had a wonderful sense of taste, and I just thought that this epic mug, I mean, look at the size of it. It's just amazing. But look at the painting on that. And it's probably a Colport piece, fairly early. And the earlier they are, and this has got heavy gold. Gold wears off pretty easy. So this is, I thought, a very nice piece. And artwork. So, Gay Gardens has a lot of walls to cover with artwork. And I thought this was a nice sketch drawing, beautifully done, and obviously important to the people that had it, that they put it in this frame within a frame. And I just think it's got an incredible charm. And that's a family portrait of a mother and 3 children. And they do have interesting things in their hands. And this, I somehow feel that this piece and that piece have a connection. I just feel it because the frames are so similar, and the children look similar. Matter of fact, I think it kind of looks like this little boy, the one in the center there. So I thought that was those were nice finds. And you can never have too many pillows. So this will probably go in one of the ladies' guest rooms. I mean, we do have friends that are not ladies, believe it or not, but mostly they're ladies. And so that will go in one of the guest rooms. And then this monumental piece, this is a really nice Paris porcelain picture. It is a picture that probably had a bowl to it, but we probably won't have this on display all the time, but it can go into with the vases for the floral bouquets. And I should have put this with the punch work, but this I thought was an incredible find. It's a little pin tray, and it's glass, and it's really, every inch of it has wear on it and a few little chips here and there, but it's actually from the 18th century. So it's probably about 1775 or 70 to even into the 80s. So this I thought was a wonderful find to have. And you know, anytime you can get something really from the 18th century is a big find. Now, David and I both love elephants, and I have not ever ridden an elephant, but David has. When he was young, he went to Thailand and he rode an elephant, and I guess they have their skin is like sandpaper, and they're actually very hairy. So that's, but this is a wonderful representation of an elephant. And look at the trunk. That's, you know, amazing. But look at the cleverness that the porcelain maker, and it is marked, but it's not a mark that I'm familiar with. The valves, so that the thing didn't blow up in the kiln, they put it in both the ears to let the moisture out. So I thought that was very clever. And I think he's beautifully done. So he could go into, say, the chinoiserie-inspired room, if there's such a thing. But, you know, people say that if their trunks are down, it's bad luck. It's only good luck if they're up. I think we make our own luck. So then the next thing I want to show you is, you know, it's a nice Mason's, I think Mason's china. We have Mason's china at home, a couple of sets. And I just think they make things that are just absolutely charming. So this you would call, the generic term is gaudy Dutch, where the British were copying the early Dutch porcelains. And, you know, this orange color, orange and blue, you either love it or you don't. I happen to think it's pretty amazing. And look at that. That's all, every bit of that is hand painted. And this is actually a dinner plate. So that I thought was a really nice find. You know, we're out in the country. We would be the last on the line to get electricity put back in. And you know, you cannot have too many candles, chamber sticks. This is called the chamber stick. So if you're coming up the stairs, you hold your chamber stick. But this is a really beautiful quality. Basically, it was armalou, which means it's gold plated, but the gold has worn away to have a nice patina to it. And this is a grape pan, vintage grape. So that's pretty much a good luck motif. So then the next I'm going to share, we're not that wild about figure groups, but you know, if these were dolls, this would be, you know, the sky's the limit price-wise. And look at the amount of mold pieces that it took to make this figure group. But the nice thing is, if you have a place that you need to brighten up, these three tots can do it. And they're probably about 1860, so they're fairly early, right on schedule with about the schedule of the house. And this I thought was really lovely. Look at the molding in this. And this is called salt glaze. So they would glaze it, and then they would throw salt on it. And then when it baked it in the kiln, it would have this interesting feeling to it. So, you know, again, it's something that you can just put in an area. It's a table jug. I mean, you can put water on it and put it on the table, but it can brighten up a space. But I just think all of that natural leaves and tree trunks is just super. And fairly early too. Now I buy things like this because I just know it makes David crazy. So this is a little mustard pot. and it's cut glass mustard pot, and it still has its little spoon in it. And you could put mustard on the table. Isn't this nicer than putting a plastic thing on the table? And you know, I do things like, I know that people will be upset by this, but when it's time for this to go in the dishwasher, I put it in the dishwasher, and they always come out. So this was a nice little find. I can't resist good silk work and good needlework, and this is a fairly early, probably 1800 to 1810. It might have been a fragment of a bigger piece, and this is what was good, but I don't care. I mean, look at all of this needlework, just really outstanding. So I thought this was a great find. And I think the colors are beautiful. And a little picture like this you could put in many, many places. If I can get it back without hurting it. Now this one, unfortunately our computer was very naughty today. So here's is a French figure, and we know it's French because there we've got the little book is in French, and we are playing music because we've got a little flute, and we've got something here which I'm going to have to spend some time to figure this out. Normally this something that's missing this much, I wouldn't be interested in it, except look at that exceptional face. And the unfortunate thing is, I wanted to tell you who the maker was, because this porcelain maker made dolls. We've had one of their items in our career. And I'm here to tell you that if that face were on a French fashion doll, the sky's the limit for the price point. Because look at the open mouth, the teeth, and the eyes, and the eyelids, and the shadowing, and the beautiful paint, and the even though it's going to need some porcelain repair, the hands, the important things are there. It just probably is a musical instrument, because again we have the cymbals, so it's definitely a musical piece. And beautiful colors, and that's something that could go. I'm planning on doing a music room in one of the rooms, so that would be a good piece for that. Then I'm going to show you something that I have wanted for many, many years. I am not here to make trouble, so don't come for me on this. Harriet Beecher Stowe, when she was introduced to Abraham Lincoln, he said to Harriet Beecher Stowe, who was a tiny woman, and we all know that Abraham Lincoln was quite tall, and he said to her, "Oh, so you're the little lady that started this great war." And it's true. She started the Civil War by writing her book, Uncle Tom's Cabin, which was the most successful novel of its time, and in many ways even to this day. And what she did with her work of fiction, which had something to do with her life experiences, she changed people's perspective on slavery, and was one of the most loved people of her time and one of the most hated. So Staffordshire, the Staffordshire companies, of course, Uncle Tom's Cabin was a phenomenon in the Britain, all over the world. And they created a statue of Uncle Tom and little Evie, or Eva, sorry. And this is such a rare item. The only other one that I've ever been able to get, this close as I am to you right now, was actually in Harriet Beecher Stowe's home in, I believe it's in Connecticut. Yes, no, yeah, Hartford, Connecticut. So this is a really, really rare piece to have. And we have a connection to this because of Miss Rose Percy, who happened to also make the acquaintance of Harriet Beecher Stowe. So this I thought was a wonderful, wonderful find. And for one of these things, it's in amazing condition. So this is pre-1862 or so. So I thought that was a great find. And I don't have lots of things on my list, but that was one that was on my list. And then in this collection, you know, I'm always looking for ephemeral items that we can use for World Doll Day as downloadable things. And David and I are both very thorough. When we go to to buy something, we go through everything, which sometimes takes discipline. So I found a nice portfolio with all of these original art pieces, and they really are phenomenal. Now, only think of that. I don't know what exactly that means, but in other words, maybe she's a floozy. I don't know. The very beautiful, beautiful work. And it seems that most of these are not grand. They're depicting people in everyday life. And I did wash my hands, by the way, before I started handling these. And, you know, here we have the blind musician with a nice little girl. And they're all, this group are all dated 1851, and it's by the same artist. And then there were other art pieces like this really lovely depiction of it's all a hand sketch. They've somehow got this beautiful paper, and then they sketched in the center, and it's Her Majesty the Queen. And this one is from February 18th. And this must be early in her reign. And more sketches of the Queen. So, you know, you put those in a simple frame or not a simple frame. And this one is from 1839. It's a beautiful, beautiful likeness of the Queen with, for my doll people following, with the exposed ear looped over there. So I thought these were a nice find. And more gouache. Again, just a normal everyday scene, but done in miniature. And these, I thought were, you know, you have to love color, but look at the work on these two. And just amazing colors. And this is, again, a gouache, but look at they say that you should always have animal print. So she's got an animal print, except in her day, it probably wasn't print. It was probably actually animal fur, but very, really unique. And look in here, the work in the lace and the jewelry, it's just outstanding. So speaking of animal print, you know, they say just sprinkle a little bit of animal print here and there. So look at this figure group. I mean, this is not the biggest figure group I've ever seen, but it's sure got a lot going on with it. And we've got the mother, the baby, the bassinet, the chair. You know, it's had a few dings here and there, and I think it's well worth having it repaired. I can't tell you how heavy this is, but look at the colors. The fuchsia, the navy blue, the French blue, orange. I mean, there isn't any bit of it that isn't decorated, but what really kills me is it's set on, you know, a leopard skin. So I think that was amazing. And I know a lot of the people that follow us are also doll makers. And look at the amount of mold pieces it would take to make this. It's pretty darn epic. So we'll find, again, this will go in a place that we needed to brighten up a space. And so last but not least, those of you that know us know that we've had 4 bulldogs. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so anytime we see a bulldog, but we're very particular about the way they looked. And this one has a look of a bulldog that I would know. And at some point, there'll be bulldogs running around gay gardens because I think that they would love it. And our bulldogs anyways were always way too big for any eagle to take away. So this is the latest haul from the Gay Garden project of Treasures 4. And we will be back. We're going to see you in probably November, and we will give you an update of what's happening there live. So anyways, friends, take care, and bye-bye, and thanks for all your kind comments. Bye-bye.
Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button.